comes to college football, there's one rivalry that defines the spirit of competition. It's not just a game, it's the Backyard Brawl. The brawl started in 1835 in Wheeling, West Virginia, where the Mountaineers faced the Western University Panthers. They would become known as the Pittsburgh Panthers. West Virginia won by a score of 8-0, and this sparked what would become the second most played rivalry of all time, behind Navy and Army.
The purpose of our investigation was to evaluate the history and wide-scale effect of the Backyard Brawl rivalry between Pitt and West Virginia. Growing up as native West Virginians and passionate Mountaineer fans, we wondered, what does this rivalry mean to players, and how does this rivalry affect the culture and atmosphere of football?
We both love college sports and rivalries, but wonder what it was like before our time. Throughout this project, we expanded our knowledge on not only the history of West Virginia, but Pittsburgh athletics as well, and wondered what makes them so special. We mainly centered our research around three key questions. The first, how do the different viewpoints between coaches and players and fans differ regarding the rivalry?
So we actually talked to West Virginia player Preston Fox, who grew up in Morgantown, and we actually learned that the players feel a lot of the same things that us fans do. Fox, who grew up as a fan living in Morgantown, said that the rivalry means so much to me because it means so much to the state. He also said he grew up hating Pittsburgh. The thing that stood out to us the most was that he said that he saw it as the most important game on the schedule. And talking to him, we learned a lot about what happens on and off the field. We learned that everyone takes it as the most important game.
We also got to talk to Rich Braham, who was the center for the Mountaineers from 1990 to 1995. And talking to him, he told us that the frequency, how much Pitt and West Virginia spent in the Big East together, played a big role. He said that back then they were battling it out night and night in night in and night out in the Big East, and every game just meant 10 times more than it does today. So he feels that it was way bigger back then than it is today, and his son is actually on the team now, and he says watching the game it doesn't feel it has as much hype as it used to. Talking to Braham and Preston Fox, we learned more about the history and the differences between time periods of the rivalry.
Our second question was, to what extent do the rivalries benefit the school's revenue and fan turnout versus regular games?
To research this, we dove deep into past statistics of fan attendance at Backyard Brawl games. So in the yellow, we have our Backyard Brawl attendance from 2002, 2022, and 2024. As you can see, the blue is the average game attendance for West Virginia games, and as you can see, there's a significant increase comparing the Backyard Brawl game to the average game for West Virginia fans, which signifies that the game meant more to fans and benefited the school's revenue and fan turnout in each of those years. Our third question, what makes the rivalry so significant? And to answer this question, we talked to reporter Greg Hunter, who has been reporting for the Blue and Gold News for over 40 years, and Metro News. He told us that proximity, just 76 miles from campus to campus, and the amount of years spent in the Big East together, as Rich Braham told us. Also, he told us that it stemmed from being a rivalry between the Battle of the Coal Miners and the Steelworkers, coal miners of West Virginia and steelworkers of Pittsburgh, and we thought that was very interesting. All in all, Greg Hunter taught us a lot about why it was significant and what makes it so unique.
We've also found some fun facts while we were researching. Like he said, there's only one rivalry with more meetings, and it's the Navy and Army. Pitt leads the series 62-41-3. It was played annually from 1943 to 2011 before an 11-year pause. And then it actually started up in 2022 and will end again after September 13th, 2025, and start back up again in 2029. And it was the first ever radio broadcast college football game, 1921, by Harold Arlen, and it was on KDK station. It was actually canceled in 1939. They canceled it because they wanted to play bigger and better teams. But by 1943, World War II made collegiate scheduling difficult. So the Backyard Brawl returned, not out of passion, but out of necessity.
Through our research, we concluded that the most memorable game was the 2007 and the 100th meeting of the Backyard Brawl, West Virginia was second ranked in the nation, and they were 10-0. And they were hosting Pittsburgh, who was well below 500. They were not very good. West Virginia was 28.5-point favorites to win the game. As you can see here, this is the aftermath of the game. Pittsburgh went into Morgantown and shocked them, holding their offense to 9 points. It shocked West Virginia fans and college football fans, all in general, all across the world. It ended their closest national championship hopes to date, and they don't let them hear the end of it. As you can see here, the score is being referenced in a very recent photo, taunting West Virginia fans.
All in all, we hope you enjoyed this presentation and learned a little bit more about what makes our rivalry so special. We learned so much talking to a former player, a current player, and a reporter that's been doing this for decades. The Backyard Brawl is very significant to West Virginia's culture and will continue to fuel Pittsburgh and West Virginia's athletics for years to come.